So, commerce, right? All of you are doing something in commerce, especially in e-commerce. Sometimes I do something with it. Most of the time, I do playful things. And this is what I want to talk about today to you. So why I'm standing here, I'm Jasmine or Jay. I'm a gamer, I'm a nerd. I watch anime. I think I know every anime out there. So as you can see, I'm a very big fangirl of One Piece. If you didn't recognize, it's Gear 5. And usually I do consult in the area of thought leadership. How can you leverage gaming and brands in that area? So I want to ask you something with an experiment, because I cannot maybe answer all of your questions. But I prepared something where you can put all your questions underneath my LinkedIn already prepared article, where we'll get then further information if you want so. And all the questions can go there if we are not able to answer them. But now, because it should be interactive and it should be playful, because what I do is gaming and play, I would ask you to go on a very interactive journey together with me as well, because I will ask you questions. I will take you on a journey. Who of you bought some jeans the last 6 months? Raise hand. Good. Me too. Was it online? Good. Now go into yourself and reimagine. How did it look like? But more important, how did it feel like? Usually, and I brought you something with me. Oh, it should play, obviously. I hope. No, it doesn't. Can you click it? So, usually you're looking for jeans, right? If you don't know what brand you're going around, you maybe find something you like. You need to scroll through black and blue. And if you don't have a filter, right, you're searching maybe something you find. So that's what you like. You click on it. Hopefully you can help me out here again. Then you need to search for your size. Then you don't know what kind of size is it. You need to look, okay, is it my fitting? How big I am? What centimeters? Is it in EU? Is it in France size? And so on. You click through and you don't really know, okay, does it really fit me? So what you're happening is you ending up with probably minimum getting 2 sizes, because you don't know if they're fitting, if it's the right length or not. You can look it up, but sure, who does that? And the next thing is, okay, you saw something, but it's not quite your type. Then you're trying to find something, which Zalando does quite good, because they give you, like other recommendations, but still, you're searching and searching and searching. I myself find it quite boring and really, really, fuck the hell exhausting. Because I'm not really ending up with something I really, truly was inspired by. I was somehow, I don't know. But that's as well the problem we have every time in e-commerce. There's so many opportunities, especially when you are in a lot of marketplaces, right? You're having this product and the next product and the other product, and we all think that LLM systems will solve the problem. Maybe, maybe not. But Zalando did something really interesting. It is quite new, and a lot of you know. That's AI-powered and fitting size. So you can try out your own measurement and sizes and could put on virtually jeans and styles, which brings as well the very interesting point. Okay, Jasmine, but what does it have to do with playful commerce? This. Because autonomy, competence, and belonging is something which is very important. Playful doesn't mean that it always needs to be like gaming and hee-hee-ha-ha content. What it needs to be is that the user gets involved into something they wanted to experience. They wanted to be with your brand. They wanted to be inspired the right way. So this is what they want to have. So autonomy is something what is very important. I am enabled for self-determination to try out, maybe making an error. Competence is something that you master a challenge, that you found the right trousers. Sure, we don't know. Still, we hopefully that it's the right one when we pack it out. And then Zalando had the deal. when you are screaming for, when you get the package because you're so excited. You're trying it on, and then you have the in real life kind of competence that you did it, because it feels good to get the right stuff, right? Because you don't want to order 5 different sizes, need to pack it and bring it back, which is as well the retour problem, which I'm not touching, but all of you are having that problem, and it's a big one. Belonging, because you had a good experience and you were had autonomy by the brand because they enabled you, and you could play around. You could observe and experience. Oh, does that trouser fit to that shirt? Oh, and it looks kind of nice on my body. So virtually, but as well, you get a feeling. And that is very important. We underestimate how important, especially for Gen Z, belonging is. And so Zalando did quite a lot of interesting cases. So they're having a virtual try-on, which is AR, and it was coming with the metaverse. Everybody thinks the metaverse is dead. No, it's not. It's just not a hype anymore, but it's still there. Roblox is something which we would call a metaverse, or a Fortnite, which are actually games, to be very frank. And we have something which comes out of TikTok. They have a try-on. Like, you can try on lipstick and makeup with filters, which helps you maybe to find out if that suits you or not. It's something playful. Maybe it's not something you saw, but they try it out. If their enablement for the brand is something they can find. That one, what you see, is like a board which you can find and inspire what you found and put on together your own kind of Pinterest. So what they try to use is to looking, okay, what can I take out of other inspiring, already playful kind of experiences to put it into my own world and to fuse it with technology. And then we think always, oh, that's a Gen Z thing, probably. Yes, but no, not really just. And now we are going really a little bit dipping deep into, who could guess that? What is that? Who knows it? Okay, it stands there. If you can read it, you can shout it. Who knows that? Who grew up with Pokémon? Hands raised. Okay, a few, good. Can somebody say me what was the feeling? What is now the feeling you have with Pokémon? Come on, somebody need to have a feeling. No? Come on, somebody. Okay, then I have to tell you, if you are going for Pokémon, somebody says, oh, that's for child. No, it's a heritage. If you see a Pokémon, Fanny, they did the Pokémon, Pandora did a Pokémon piece as well. They're selling, Lego sells 700, it says $700 for a Lego piece for a fucking Pikachu. And you're thinking, what the hell? Yes, what the hell? Why? Why is that so important? Why is One Piece so important? To understand why anime is so important for Gen Z, but as well for us who grew up in that area. Why? Because as well, Grand Theft Auto. Who waited 10 years for Grand Theft Auto? Who knows that game? Okay, I waited for that. Who played 5? See, all of you. If you're not in that area, you don't understand us. And you're not understanding half of the population of Germany. It is not about something where we say it needs to be, like transactional. In a game, it's not about transaction. It's about the feeling it gives to you. It's about the heritage it gives to you. And this is something what Gen Z and millennials have to go together. It's the same feeling. And that is what we're missing in marketing and brands more and more. Because I tell you what, we are all playing the margin game. And we want to have something which we're getting more margin and more margin. But what we forget is that we're having still a brand. If you're not investing in how your brand feels, online, offline, brick and mortar stores, whatever, you're losing in the next 5 to 10 years. Because Gen Z and Gen Alpha, they show you something which is called the middle finger in Germany. They say, you're not any more important. And everybody, yeah, because Gen Z is not loyal. They go then and find and get somebody else. Yes, because your brand is not interesting for them. And this is something which brings me back. Who are the target group? This is just the gamer. Numbers. And these are German numbers. The numbers in the world looks a little bit different, but the most interesting number is that they're actually on average 39.5 years old. My age, probably your age. That's the average age, and everybody thinks, oh, they're so young. No, they're not. Gamers are not just young people. They're not just 18 or 12. And they're not just 8 and playing Fortnite. Sorry, I have to say to you, that's not true. Numbers are not lying. And 48% are female. So they're not just males. And especially when you're looking at the numbers, as I said, half of the population of Germany, almost, not really, but 37.5 million, are gamers. They identify themselves as gamers. Gen Z, they don't identify themselves anymore as gamers, but they do play 7 hours a week. And millennials, almost 7 hours a week. That's tremendous. If we're looking at media, this is something what we grew up with. Our brain is wired differently. We are looking for something which is new, which is exciting. We want to believe in brands. We want to believe in something bigger. We want to change the world. That is something we grew up with. If you looked at Pokémon, if you're looking into One Piece, people are going on streets. Gen Z revolution at the moment gets really political. And then I'm coming to business events and say, oh yeah, I don't know if that is business enough. One Piece, one man makes more money probably than most of the biggest clients here. And that's tremendous. If that is not business and we are not understanding what's happening there, we are missing a big part. So I brought you 3 whys. Why? And what you can take maybe with you. So my talks are not always about giving you an answer. It's about provocation, to make you think, to make you feel, to make you question things. So the 3 whys for you should tackle and look into is the ecosystem and the halo effect, the new platforms and new behaviors, and fandom, immersion, and community. So let's talk about the economical part. So if you're looking at facts and numbers, you can photograph that. I don't going through that all because numbers are very important because every business part likes numbers. But if you're looking into just the anime market, it is 34 billion in 2024. And it will hit by 2030, 60 billion. And looking into gaming, look at the numbers. I don't have to tell you. It's not that you should go into the gaming market. It's just to respect and to understand. If they understand how to do it, you can look how they do it. You just need to understand how to do it so you can convert it into your ecosystem. And that is what Amazon did with Twitch. Who knows Twitch? Oh, wow. Thank you. So I give you a short guessing game. Why do you think? I give you short 1 minute to think over it, and then I give you the answer because it's there. So it's very easy. 7 versus Wild probably. So this is people I work with. So this LiveLink. They are formerly working at Amazon. Now they're doing their own Twitch company. And especially with 7 versus Wild. So they're having the kickoff with Prime Video. They can track Prime Video, who watched that, and so on and so forth. So because it's the same ecosystem with Twitch, they rewatch it to have the loop more and more, to get into the fandom and the community with the Twitch streamers. So they could track the whole thing and retarget the audience because guess what? Amazon has the Amazon Marketplace. So they could retarget actually the users and give them some, like product placements or the search for and so on and so forth, which were fitting to 7 versus Wild. So that's people going out into the nature and campaigning and so on and so forth. And looking at that you say, I don't know. Twitch is such an idiot gaming platform. They just play games there. No, they don't. There are people who are cooking there. There are people who are having kiosks there. There are people who are working there, who do co-working or just making reaction videos. And you guess what? They have a so loyal community that those people are buying from them directly, like live shopping. And if you're looking at the numbers again, they're tremendous. And they have it. The most important thing was, if you're doing it right, it's not counting for everybody, you have a 12% conversation rate. And I thought, what? Fuck, that can't be true. But I looked it up. It's true. And 70% of the Gen Z adults. And then, what is very interesting? That already, people come to me, we do TVC for the youngsters, Are they still looking TVC? Because the numbers, they're looking so great. And I say, numbers of TVC? They're kind of made up, right? You can maybe track a little bit of this. But in digital, you can really track it. You really can track it. And that's tremendous. And Gen Z, they are not into TVC. They are everywhere, but not in TV. They're not anymore. And then it's trash TV. Do you want your brand to be going into a trash TV afterwards commercial, being identified with Dschungelcamp? I don't know. Maybe it's fun, maybe not. And playful doesn't mean always digital. It's very easy, solvable. Like as you can see here, maybe it's just a basket. Maybe it's just something you can very easily let decide. Do I want to have something with happy to be assessed? And no, leave me alone. I don't want to talk to you. I want to just stroll around. And what we can see with Gen Z is as well that they're going back into the analog world. They're using less and less social media. And actually, 59% of the Gen Z, which is ages between 18 and 24, they shop physical stores. They go back into it. And that's really interesting that they really go there for the experience. They maybe look online. Now it shifts around, right? For millennials, it's more, I look it up in the store and then buy it online. With the Gen Z, it's a little bit different. So this is something where it gets, again, into an ecosystem, which for brands have a lot of leveraging informations, because how could you do that? Talia, we're working together with Wizarding World. Who knows Wizarding World? Who knows Harry Potter? Harry Potter, okay, everybody should know Harry Potter, come on. Harry Potter is the brand company of actually Warner Bros., which has the Wizarding World underneath and giving the IP, so the brands towards Talia. And what they did, numbers are actually very tremendous here. A book cost 12 euros, right? But because they're selling merch and the experience, and they did the 9 3/4, I don't know how that is called in English, I'm sorry for that. You know, where you're going to the train station. They have something where you can photo make it. They have something, you can see there, there's a digital wall where you can make photos and experience. You can sit down beside, you know, they try to make it immersive. It's in Munich, and they did it, I think, 4 times right now. And it's really interesting that the numbers are telling them that's the right thing, and they would not do it if they would not sell like hell. And it's really interesting that you're having event revenue share of 25 to 30%. And this is something they still can sell it online, but as well you can see that people are going there, stroll around, you can talk to them, you can upsell them. And this is something which is important. We are always thinking just of one product, but maybe we should think more of an ecosystem, more of an experiencing world. And I think this is something what we can take when it comes to new platforms and new behaviors. So looking again into Twitch and Roblox. Last year I talked about Roblox and I said, you need to look into Roblox. Guess what? Now a lot of brands are there and they did it and they do the good revenue. Some of you missed that, your problem, because it's getting now and now more and more expensive, because more and more experiences is called there. And to advertisement and get the people there is maybe a little bit, you know, more, it costs a little bit more. And what you can do in Roblox is, well, virtual goods, I'm coming to that. But if you're looking into the ecosystem, it's not a metaverse ecosystem in brackets, because it doesn't matter what stands up above there. If you're looking at those numbers, companies, you can see a lot non-gaming companies, which is correct. But if you're looking into what is standing there, which is experience, you're seeing a lot of games, actually. EA, Fortnite, Ubisoft, PlayStation, and so on and so forth, Nintendo. And that is very interesting, because that is where experiences are leading. Coca-Cola is quite interesting for a case. They try always to get into this narrative. They bring out very special items, especially for gamers and target groups, but not just the new product. They try to bring it then to the customers into Fortnite, but then as well out of Fortnite into the real world, and maybe on the phone, let it play and let people really experience the brand and the product around. And the question is, how does a bite taste? I don't know. Coca-Cola may knows, because they brought out something which was called the bite, a pixel. And this was huge. Not huge for you, but huge for others who were in that area. If you're looking into Walmart, let's see if that plays. Can you click it for me? I try? No. Can you click it for me again? Would be awesome. If not, we try it out. Video is always like a little bit interesting. If it plays, it doesn't matter. So you can experience it. It's not a problem. Then we're putting it into, that is the most important part. I wanted to show you a video, but doesn't matter. That was how Walmart integrated it. You can look it out on my YouTube. It's not a problem. You go Walmart, video, and so on. That's not a video. You don't need to click that. That's just a picture. So what happened there? Roblox have actually a real-world integration into your e-commerce. And it started last year in April, which is kind of interesting. Or was it this year? You need to look it up. Actually, Cosnova do that. Cosnova is a cosmetic brand as well, who were quite early in Roblox, which is quite interesting because they are advertising young women, so to say, into the cosmetic area, and they put it around with some storytelling and princess and so on. And now you can really shop. You have a digital item, but you have as well the real item, which you really can shop in your e-commerce, and it will come back to your home. And that's interesting. How do shopping actually change? Is a platform still a website, or will it be something different in the future? Why are we not leveraging Fab? Nobody probably heard of Fab. Fab is something which is having 3D assets. Some of big companies and brands use that to place actually their Makita or you name it, MAN, transporters products there, because people then use it in their games because they need some props. Because in gaming, you need props that it looks cool, right? If you give that for free, they probably will use it. And you are reaching a target group. Maybe not intended, and you cannot probably have it as a KPI, but hey, people see you. You may cannot track it, but that's not important. It's important that they actually get in touch and experience your brand. Fandom and immersion and community. 50% of fans buy licensed products. I mean, that's huge. 70% of consumers choose brands based on emotional connection. Again, as said, either you go the marching game, which you can play, but in 5 to 10 years, Temu will have your artists. Congratulations, already happening. If not, you need to play maybe the Playful commerce game, which is what Aldi does. Did you know that they have an anime? No. Did you know that they are having a gaming GG? No. Maybe yes. Why do they do that? Because they wanted to experience how it is to get into, first, making the brand more cool and experience a new target group. This is actually working fine for them. It's maybe not huge, but it works. McDonald's goes more and more into anime. Usually I'm wearing a shirt of Burger King, which goes into IP crossovers. And Lush does that all the time. This I told last year. This year I bring some new cases, or a very new brand I'm very in love into. It's called the D brand. And what they do is ambassador marketing. So this is Andreas Niedrig, and Andreas Niedrig is somebody who is doing actually Ironman marathons, triathlons, sorry. And he was a junkie. So he was a drug addict. But he was overcoming this, and now he's world famous for that. But D-brand doesn't say, oh, you're not our kind of brand. I don't want to talk to you. What they do is to try to bring the stories and make ambassadors for their brand, because what they say is, I want to be very authentic. I want to be somebody who doesn't make advertisement. I want that people feel us, feel the brand, understand for what we are saying, and that comes through other people. We are sometimes not thinking about that we need to have multipliers. We always think, oh, performance marketing, yes, it's important, but it's not always the truth. You need to think broader. So I brought you a little framework with me, and it's very easy. And now I need a little bit of your help, because step one, it's participation. What do you think does participation mean for you? What would that mean that you give people and to make them participate in your brand, to give them something back and not just consume something, not just making the TikTok goldfish kind of dopamine funnel to click through, and then you're asking yourself, okay, I don't know why I don't make sales over TikTok. Because maybe they need more of a participation. Where's the hook? Where is the thing? How do you invite people to actually interact with you? Can you make them an active part of your branding? And maybe make them shine like Evuli's eyes here. Low friction. We all saying that it needs to be seamless. How do you have a seamless, really seamless user experience out there? Especially when it comes to brick and mortar stores, physical stores. None. Which is not a problem, but it needs to be frictionless because we grew up with low friction. We wanted to have it easy. The easier, the better. Games are easy. They feel easy, but they're not. They just feel easy. That is what we try and what you need to understand. How can I bring friction out of it and not make it like a user experience? I'm a user experience designer and I'm a gamifier, but this is different. A user experience designer would make a play button, and because we need to make it fast, right? There would be a play and then there would be, congratulations, you won the game. And ending, game over. And thank you for playing. So that would a good user experience designer do. A game designer, what would he or she do? They make the play button. Everything in between is very, very important because you wanted to hold the user as long as you can. And not with black patterns sometimes, yes. In and within your ecosystem, you want to make it fun. Not transactional. Not transactional. It's important. And then there comes someone, the ending button. It's more about experiences. I know it's hard to understand because usually in e-commerce it's like, how do I bring people the fastest way that they click the buy button? Now, I'm not telling you that you should not do that. I'm just telling you should think of around it. You can still have the transactional part, but how do you make your people observe? How do you make it maybe a little bit harder to achieve something? Which brings me to step 3, achievement. Do you have a ringing point? How do you maybe celebrate the customer? It may sound odd and childish, but how do you celebrate the customer that he was able to actually buy something in your shop? And maybe it's not online. Maybe it's just something like a little card which says, hey, thank you. Thank you so much that you were actively engaging with my brand. And I would be very thankful if you're making a UGC video posting underneath that hashtag. Or coming into my community. Or if you do that, you get something back. Or what, I don't know. You can imagine it. And that is sometimes very important that we're not first thinking of, how can I do leverage digital area? And yield. We want to have something back, right? It's not achievement. Achievement is something which could be physical and yay, high fives. So usually I'm doing high fives, but we can do high fives as well, but not just physically. And you can give them, like coupons or cards or something, like where they feel engaged. And I know reward is sometimes a little bit of that. But as well, there comes on the status and the levels and so on into it. But what now? I ask you, what now? I know what answers would be for your brands. But it's not good if I give you all the answers because every brand, every target group, every ecosystem is completely different. So I give you my 3 takeaways, but it's really important that you ask yourself, how do you engage with your users? How can you make it more playful? And maybe it sounds odd, I know, but try it out. If you never try it out, you never know if it would be good. So these are my 3 takeaways. Where do I see Playful framework? How can you make your commerce more explorable? Try out the experience of the examples. And don't just create products. Create playful experiences. That's up to you guys, not up to me. I can help you with that, but it should be up to you. Think of that. Everybody can do that. And if you have answers, go here.
Thank you. That was amazing. Thank you very much.